Hoffa day, and what's up, everybody? Today I'll be talking about a couple of ways you can make a living as a musician, doing what you love and what you're passionate about full-time. And if you're a new starting musician or somebody who wants to get into music full-time, this video's for you. I'm going to talk about two specific ways that I use to survive and rent a place and cover my expenses and all these things. So yeah, we're going to be super transparent in this video. We're going to let you know what it's like. All right. So the first way is by teaching, and that's kind of an obvious one, but it's one that a lot of people, especially musicians, are hesitant to start. And it's very easy to start. You can just go online, post a picture or a video of yourself playing or performing and say, hey, I got lessons, like hit me up for online lessons or something like that. And more often than not, you'll get a couple people just interested or wanted to learn an instrument, whatever instrument it is that you play, and they're gonna get excited at the fact about, possibly they could learn an instrument. The way I started was during the pandemic. Nobody could talk to each other, nobody could, meet up in person or anything like that. So I just posted online, hey, like $20 a lesson, like just hit me up, and it worked out really well. I got a couple people hitting me up. Most of them were first-time lessons, or one-time lessons, I should say, but it was great, and they had fun, and we had fun just talking about music, talking about the piano, talking about writing songs and how to perform your music, and finding out what chords were and things like that. It's a lot of it is just general knowledge, but if you're knowledgeable at your instrument and you're knowledgeable about how to make music and what music sounds good to you, then you have 90% of the criteria to teach. The other 10% is being able to relate to people, especially children too, because that's one of the hardest things, is relating to children and being a good mentor for them while also trying to teach them the proper way and the right way to play their instrument, correct technique, things like that. Things that won't make them stumble in the future if they're trying to take it up as a more serious profession or interest. I have 36 students, and I teach them all at a music academy that happens usually after school, so I start teaching at like around 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, which is not the best if you want an early night, but teaching till 8 and starting at 3, in fact, helps me out a lot, because during the day I can practice, I can work on projects, I can record, I can write my own music, I can do things during the day that I wouldn't be able to if I worked a 9-to-5 job, and I'm very grateful for that. All my students are awesome, they're so cool, and they're learning a lot too. So that's another perk about teaching, is that you see your students progress, you see them get better, and it's just great. It makes you feel good and makes their parents happy, obviously, and yeah, it's just great to, be a good influence on the younger generation. Another perk to teaching is that it helps you reinforce the knowledge that you know, or that you think you know, right? Something that started when I started teaching is I was really bad at sight reading. I mean, you put a piece in front of me, give me like 20 minutes, I could probably figure it out, maybe not in time with a metronome or anything like that. But teaching students how to read, teaching students performance, and how to conduct yourself if you're doing a live performance in front of other people, that really helped me out a lot personally. And it made me feel like I reinforced the knowledge that I already had, which is great. My sight reading has gone way up. I can read things a lot faster now, even though if you put a sheet of music in front of me right now, I'd probably tell you to, stop doing that. Just stop. No, but anyway, yeah, teaching is great. It reinforces your own knowledge, and you pass along knowledge to the new generation. Another thing that you might need for teaching too is be able to relate to children, to the younger generation, right? Most of them are not there because they want to be there at first. It's because their parents want them to be there. And if you're dealing with that kind of situation, the best thing you could do is make it fun for them while they're forced to be there, kind of, which is really cool because what I do is I play sometimes musical board games with them. We have a whiteboard in the studio that I teach, so I like to write on there, play a game with them, note identification, give them like a timer, like, oh, you got this much amount of time to figure out the note. And then they really like start to hustle. They're like, oh wow, wait. Like it's really fun. It's fun to have those kinds of activities, especially with kids who have so much energy and so much imagination. It makes you more excited to do your job every day. And honestly, yeah, it does feel like a job when you go there and you sign in, you get all your students, everything. It's definitely a routine, but it's a routine that has improved my sight reading, improved my knowledge of music, and improved my speaking skills and relating to people, adults and children. I have a couple adult students too. They're the easiest to teach because you can relate to them on a more adult level and just talk to them normally. Kids, you can do the same thing, If you're talking to kids, like they're little kids and trying to like guide them and all that kind of thing, oftentimes they won't respond that well. If you just say, hey man, like, this is what you do. This is what you got to do, And then you just show them a couple things. Like they love that. They love hearing songs that they know, or Fortnite songs, or peaches, things like that. And you learn a lot from them too about what the kids are doing and what they're listening to these days. And I'm not talking like teenagers or like young adults. I'm talking like 7-8-year-old kids, that are still trying to figure out what kind of music they like. You can be a big influence and a good influence on them. Yeah, teaching is great. And if you're struggling with how to start teaching, just start, just post something online and say, hey, I'm doing lessons over Zoom or FaceTime. Like, you could hit me up just right here. You just talk to each other on the phone, and just do a lesson that way. That's how I did it during the pandemic. And then I got a regular student and I taught her for 4 years. And then after that was already great criteria for applying to teaching jobs where I was exposed to more and more students. And that makes a majority of my income today, which is really great. I'm grateful for that. Grateful for that time that we had during the pandemic to try new things. So yeah, teaching, 9 out of 10. Let's get on to the other one. Gigging, playing shows, and this includes touring, this includes weddings, this includes bar gigs, this includes all kinds of gigs. This is a lot of the fun stuff you get to do as a musician, but you also learn a lot too. Yeah, I started gigging around, I want to say 2015, but it was just with a band that my friend started, and, it was fun. We just hung out, wrote music, and then went to, whoever had a free spot at a, coffee shop or something that let us play there. That's how we started. And for the first couple of years of music, a couple of years of gigging, I didn't get paid at all. I just did it for the fun of it and the love of it. And I still try to do that today, If I know a gig is going to be fun and it's going to be a great time, great music, great hang, I'll still take it. No matter, if the pay isn't that good or whatever. Like, it depends on how you prioritize these things. And I prioritize the fun. And that has led me to some of the best gigs. Even high-paying gigs, too, just by prioritizing the fun and the vibe of the band that you're with. So, let's talk more about how to start gigging. Well, for me, I went to a music college, and I was able to meet musicians, and they were telling me, oh, I have a show here, come see me. So I would always go to shows. I would just show up there and watch people, talk to people, watch them play, learn what they're doing, learn how to load in and set up and sound check and play and load out. It's a whole process. But once you get used to it, it starts to feel a little bit more like a routine, but something that you know. So it's not as scary, especially if you have stage fright or performance fright, or you get nervous talking or performing in front of a bunch of people. Like, that's a really great way to start, is just dive into it at a coffee shop or a bar gig or an open mic. Open mics are great. I used to go to a lot of open mics in San Francisco, just jumping in, playing whatever song I knew on the guitar, piano. If they did have a piano, that would be great. But yeah, gigging is, it starts like that, by showing up to the scene and showing up and letting people know who you are, being friendly, being respectful, asking people about themselves, saying like, hey man, when did you write that song? Like, what's that song about? Like, that's really great. Especially at an open mic, people love to talk about their music. Yeah, it's great. And as you go on more in the gigging scene and performing, you whether you're trying to or not, you gain a reputation, right? And if you're a great musician who is fun to talk to and easy to hang out with and easy to play with, easy to work with, you're going to get a lot more calls from people who need a band member or need, keyboard work, in my case, guitar work, sax work, drums, bass, whatever instrument you play. As long as you're a cool person and you talk to people, you're going to get a lot of calls. And some of those calls might lead to really, really great things and really cool gigs where you travel around the world and all this kind of thing. I've traveled pretty far, pretty crazy places, gigging as a musician, and it's really fun. That's primarily why I wanted to get into music, because I had this connection to it that I just couldn't stop playing the piano. I was like, I have to have the music, I have to have it in my fingers and be able to play the song that I like. And when I realized that could take you places, I started, in my head, I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. I want to be on tour and I want to go all over the world and all these kinds of things. And yeah, it's come true for the most part. I haven't traveled everywhere, but the places that I have gone are really, really cool. The craziest place I've ever been was Greenland. Greenland was cool. That's the furthest north I've ever been, and yeah, furthest away from home, I think. Yeah, but I've been cool places: Hawaii, Jamaica, all across the U.S. Like, it's really great times. Whoever calls you for these gigs, or however you get the gig via connection or a friend, it's always good to thank them for that, right? Thank them publicly in a post, or just say, hey man, like, just personally, thank you for the opportunity to do that. And I'm always grateful too. That's why whenever I'm on these tours or these gigs, these high paying gigs, or gigs far away from home, I'm always grateful. I'm always, excited to be there. And yeah, it's a dream. It's a dream to be able to play some of these great places and great shows. Right on. There are other ways also to make music. Stuff that I've started but haven't really gained an income from, so I don't think that that's one way I can start talking about. But recording with people is great. Being a recording session musician, I know that there's a whole world out there of session musicians and recording industry, and with the finest musicians and the greatest sounds and the greatest product of their work. But I haven't really dived that deep into that part yet. I spend my weeks teaching, and I spend my weekends and as much time as I can gigging. So that takes up a lot of your time. And here's the other thing to talk about. It's going to take up a lot of your time, especially if you want to make a living as a musician. If you gig every night, that can be taxing on your psyche and your body and all that kind of thing. But if you love it and you're having a great time and you're doing it with like the best musicians or the best people you could hang out with, then it's going to be so great and you're going to have so much fun. And teaching too can also be like that. You can get worn down from teaching. It can feel like a job day to day, but you always have to remind yourself, I'm doing music. I'm teaching these kids or these adults music, piano and how to get better. And when you actually see them get better, it's so much more rewarding, right? Not every student is going to be a prodigy where they can play everything that you're telling them, and no gig is going to be perfect where it's a high pay, it's not that far of a drive. But yeah, there's perks to both of these. It might feel like you're working two jobs at a time, especially if during the day, like for instance, during the day I practice, I learn sets, I write out my notes, I do all that kind of thing, and then at 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock I go to teach, and that can take up a lot of your day and a lot of your energy and a lot of your time. But as long as you remember that this is what you love to do and this is something that still makes you happy, then it's going to be worth it. Oh yeah, and the most important thing about all this, keep listening to music that you like. no matter what you're doing, keep listening to music that you like and that makes you excited and makes you passionate. That's the one thing that gets me through everything. It's just listening to good music on the drive home from teaching, or getting really into a set that I'm about to play at a gig. That is also a really big motivator and a source of inspiration for me. So yeah, those are a couple ways you can make a living as a musician. It's how I survive. It's how I am able to do music full time and not have to step into any other industry, even though I've had jobs in other industries. That's really the way to do it, you know? Teaching is great. Don't let anybody tell you that teaching is not a fun thing. It can be fun. Depends on your attitude. Gigging is awesome too. Gigging is what I love to do. Every time I get a call for a gig, I get excited and I'm like, okay, let's do it, you know? Let's learn the music, or if I already know the music, I just practice it some more and make sure my chops are up to par, because yeah, you want to do the best job you can for whoever called you or hired you for the gig, right? Cool. Well, good work, everybody. If you stuck around, I'm proud of you. Good job. Okay, great. See you later.